All right, so we'll start up. Rio, you got the wingers and the centers. Give us your rankings for those players.
Dylan stats. He ran for 148 meters, post contact 43, one line break, free tackle breaks. This is a bit of a funny stat, but he only made 3 tackles, and I was thinking, okay, that must be a winger thing, because I've always kind of looked at the forwards tackles stats, but yeah. So 3 tackles, 3 errors, and 2 handling errors. Yeah. So Dallin for me got involved early in the second half, done some good runs from the dummy half, and just that try. His try was all class. And even the photos afterwards, it's like, bro, that's mean, bro. Yeah. So Dallin for me, Saturday night, he got a solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, well, I was thinking it probably would have been pushing more 8 if not for those first couple of mistakes in the first half. Yeah. But yeah, he came right. He did come right. Rocco, his inside, Dylan's inside. Solid on defense. Made a couple of good runs, probing runs. There were a couple of runs where he got the ball and he just took them on. He was backing himself. The defense got him, but he was still making yardage. That first half, a couple of fumbles the second half. Good goal line defense and good service to Dallin for his try. So for me, Rocco, I gave Rocco a 6.5 out of 10 for the young fella. I really like him. I think he's still got potential. It's just that he's building. He's slowly building. I want to see him get more confident and start taking them on, not just taking the opposition on, but pushing those boundaries. Alan, Rocco, Adam, Pompey. He was probably not one of his better nights for me. So fumbled the ball twice in the first half. Did bring the ball back in from the sideline, close to the late in the first half. Solid D. Quiet during the second half. Last 5 minutes, fumbled the ball twice again. Not a good finish for Adam. Still solid on D. So with that in mind, I missed the stats. Adam, even Adam's stats weren't there great. So run meters, he made 57 run meters, 26 post contact, 1 line break, 1 tackle break, 11 tackles. This is where it gets ugly for Adam. 6 errors and 4 handling errors. So so the stats kind of speak for themselves. So Adam for me got 5.5 out of 10. And lucky last, the best of the 4, Marcelo. That first half he was just on fire. He was just into everything. Got involved early with the carries, the hit-ups. 2 beautiful tries. The second one, he just made himself, beat those inside defenders. And just kind of push through. He did get fended off by Will Penasini second half, but besides that, he was outstanding. He was outstanding for me all night. So I gave Marcelo. His stats. Ran for 204 meters, 53 post contact, 2 line breaks, 5 tackle breaks. Wow. Only made 4 tackles. The wingers must have it pretty cruisy, man, because those numbers are low. But no errors and no handling errors. So for me, he got 8.5.
Wow.
Out of 10.
Those are some nice stats, man.
Yeah, no, I really like what we saw of Montello on Marcelo, on Saturday night. Montoya was was the best of them. Yeah.
Definitely the best of them, absolutely. Yeah. No, completely agree. So we'll shoot over to you, Ty. Covering the forwards, minus the hooker, obviously. What do you reckon? What are their rankings?
I'll be honest, it was a pretty good game by the forwards. Kind of how I always measure up just with these ratings. I kind of consider who are they going against. And, we've already talked about they had Junior Bolo back from New South Wales duties. Obviously didn't get selected, so that's a big, that's a good pick for Eels to have back with their forward pack, and also have even Hopgood there, knowing that he could be potentially debuting for Queensland. So I feel like they had a good pack in front of them to play, and I felt like our forwards munned up this week, and actually, I gave them considerably good scores. On top of that, so in terms of our first one, we had AddinFonua-Blake. Week in, week out, he does what he does. He's kind of been consistent, I guess, with his game, and he played 60 minutes. To be honest, I haven't gone too much off their stats. I've just gone off the feel of the game and what I've kind of saw from them. But Addin did his work, and he was solid. So I gave him a 8 for
Nice.
Addin this week. Thought he was
Nice.
solid and deserved that score. I'm trying my best not to do 0.5s. And trying to lean closer to if it's an 8 or a 9, or if it's a 7 or a 6. Okay. So Addin leaned more to the 8 this week. For our other prop, Bunty, he only got 36 minutes with the game. Again, he's showing that he's ripping in, and again, off the feel of it, because he only had a limited time, I gave him a 7. I don't think he did anything wrong necessarily when watching the game, and even watching it back, I didn't see too much. He just got dug into his work, but he didn't do anything X factor that kind of required even a higher score. So I gave Bunty a 7 this week, and thought he still played solid. I kind of wish that he gets a bit more minutes. I think if we up that kind of score, I would love to see him get a bit more minutes and actually just leave him out there to kind of even just get his game fitness up. So I kind of hope that could happen in future blowouts. In terms of our next man, forward, the first half, I think he was a bit shaky. But then I think he came into himself. I remember there was one part where he went to look for a pass, and I think it hit someone's hand, and it was constituted as a knock on. And those kind of things.
There was that offload. There was that offload that
So I think the look was worth it, but it's like when you're hanging too long, man, you just pull that thing and go back down. And those can be coach killers, especially at the time when we're getting momentum. But I think he made the most tackles. I think it was around 33 tackles that he made, and he actually was one of the highest in terms of meters. So it's around 203. Not as obviously like Montoya, but he was up there as well in terms of the forwards. So just based on that, and I think he eventually found himself. There was obviously an early break he got straight off Metcalf, straight through, which I guess created a bit of energy for us in that first half. So I gave him actually, similar to Addin, I gave him a solid 8 this week. I was more leaning to 8 with him, maybe AddinFonua 8.5, but I think he deserved an 8 this week. Solid, showed a few glimpses of what he can do, and that's why I gave him the 8. In terms of Barnett, I think this was his best game of the season. I think I said it in the chat. There was no trouble within his game. That's probably the scariest part, because we know what he can offer. He's a hard man. I wouldn't say, I'm not going to do this, but I am going to do this. He's kind of that Aussie that we need. He's kind of like the Kevin Campions, that guy that we need, and the enforcer, but obviously he's applying himself at that second row kind of space, and he's usually a prop forward, and he's been doing well at their second row. I still think Nicoll will get his role back, but he's been a pleasure to have there. I think he got 3 line breaks, couple of meat pies. Awesome game from him, and for him, he'll be the first one I give of the year. I give him a 9.
Nice.
I think it looks a bit backward. So 9 this week for him. Awesome game. Him and Luka Mikiafu from Apia probably would have got the other 9 of the game. But I think Mitchell Barney had the best game of the season this year.
Absolutely.
I loved when he made that line break, and he had no intention of passing that ball. He did a little right. He came off the right foot and came in, and he wasn't passing that ball, bro. He was taking the tackle.
Well, actually, that's why he probably wouldn't have got a 10, because there was one time we got a break, and he was just looking right, and I'm like, bro, the guy's on your left-hand side.
Both sides, bro.
So sorry, Mitchell Barnett, bro. If you look left, you might have got a 10. And then for Tuhu Harris, he does his role week in, week out. Always there in the middle, holding down on D. And just, he's a ball playing 13. And we saw that he gave a try to Walker, straight through. Walker just pretty much walked through, So just having him there, I think for defenses, they don't know if he's going to run or if he's going to pass, look forward, look back, So offers a lot of attack, does his role on defense. And obviously he got injured. And then he came back on, So, captain's knock there, you can't knock it. I kind of want to knock it because I'm like, bro, we need you for later, and those knees look like they've just been held on by that tape, my bro. So, if we can stay off a little bit longer, we know you want to come in and show the boys, we're still there. But I think we've seen what you've done the whole season, and we'll rather keep you for those later, especially playoffs. If we we're going to get there. But if we're there, we want a Tohu Harris that can play that 80 if we need to. But he was solid, and I actually gave him a 8 this week. So yeah, those are my scores. I think it's an average of 8 the forwards, and I feel it was a good game by the forwards.
All right, we'll shoot over to you, Nick. You're covering the spine. How did you rank the boys?
Starting with our number one. Don't know how many meters he made last week, but it wasn't a lot. 29 runs, making 189 meters, 68 post contact meters, 3 tackle breaks. He diffused the kick. 0 mistakes from our number one.
No.
The only blemish was, look, he missed 1 tackle out of 4. So it must be a winger and the number one thing to not make many tackles. Because how many did Montoya make?
Montoya made
2.
What was it? Tackles made 4. Montoya made 4.
4.
So and that was the highest out of the back.
And Dallin was 2. Dallin was 2 or 3.
And Dallin was 3.
3. All right.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, out of those 2.
Yeah. So he missed 1 tackle out of the 4. I'd say the only blemish was when that ball was kind of running dead. I would have preferred him just to kick it, just to I know what he's trying to do. And if the bloke, I don't know what his name was, had he got there, that would have been a try. So that's probably the only thing I would have liked him just to kick the shit out of that ball. Be like, I could just get rid of it, bro.
And even the Chance's reaction afterwards, he knew he fluffed it.
He knew.
And we were just lucky that the bunker were on our side. they made the call. But
big ups to the bunker, by the way. Big ups to the bunker for the weekend, right? Because I think a couple of calls went our way, and I was like, oh, sweet, we'll take it.
Yeah, hard, bro.
We'll take it. CNK back on the road to where he belongs. So I gave him a solid 7 for the game on the weekend.
Nice.
Ooh, who am I going to go next on this one? I'll go SJ because I think now with a player like Metcalf and players like Tamari Martin, it takes a lot of pressure off the bro. So when you look at his stats, you think, oh, he didn't have a good game, but when you watch the game, he had a really good game. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of pressure has been taken off him. 7 conversions. I think he missed 1, hit the upright. 15 runs, 105 meters. 2 tackle breaks. He did miss 4 tackles. He let Simonson get on the outside of him, which led to that try. And it kind of looked like he hit him. 434 kicking meters. Just kick the shit out of it on that game. Give him a solid 7 as well.
Woo! Cool. Nice.
My man Egan. Straight after the game was finished, I said, who's the player of the match for you guys? And I said straight away, Egan, for what I saw out there. Making those darting runs, 61 meters. I think he's got something wrong with his elbow. He's complaining, like he went into a tackle and he complained about his elbow. And I was like, oh, bro, what's happened now? 7 runs, 72 meters, right? 21 post contact.
Not bad.
2 line break assists, 1 try assist, 5 dummy runs, 32 tackles. He only missed 1. I think the only one that scored more that made more tackles than him was Ford. So I'm giving my boy a solid 8.
Woo! Nice.
No.
He was a menace. He was a menace, man. He was terrorizing those boys. Now come to what did you call him, bro? Luka what? Luka Mufiaki?
Oh, well, he called himself Luka Mikiafu during Samoan Language Week, so we're running with
Yeah.
The stats are just crazy. I'd say, best game so far.
Yep.
And I feel like this guy's only getting started.
That's the exciting thing.
That's the exciting thing, right? So, look, 2 tries. First one, carbon copy of a try that he scored many times. And even the same celebration where he claps his hands together, it was really weird. I was just like, man, it's deja vu. Pretty economical because he's only done 7 runs. And of those 7 runs, only made 54 meters.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And one of those dummy half runs, he scored. But then you look down the other side of the stats, it's 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, 1 try assist, 6 tackle breaks and 14 tackles with 0 missed. And it's just
Yeah.
like, bro,
Yeah.
you're lighting everything up. I have to give you a 9 for that one.
Nice.
Work it.
Have to. You know, big question in the pub was, and I suppose around a lot of places, is when Te Maire Martin comes back, what is going to happen here?
Great question.
Do you kick Metcalf back down to Cup just to keep him grounded? Right.
At the moment, I wouldn't. I'd keep him as he was.
Yeah.
And then give Te Maire a bit more of a chance to recoup, because his time will come. But if after a game like that, you got to keep the bro out there, right? You know, you can't stick him back into the reserves after a game like that.
I hear you. And I don't think there's any right or wrong answer here, Ray, because like, shit, he's lighting up the stats. 2 tries. Sean Johnson screaming at him, you know, backed himself.
Yeah.
Winning.
And that's that Aussie cockiness, eh? You know, the whole he's gonna do it just to show that he could do it. You know? But yeah, I agree with Damien. You gotta, and unless he gets injured, you know, he should pretty much stay in that standoff position, keep that number 6 jersey.
Yep.
Last but not least, shoot over to Tarns. She's going to cover the interchange.
So first up, Dylan Walker. He played 41 minutes, 11 runs for 126 metres. 40 of those were post-contact.
Nice.
Jeez.
Yeah, 1 line break assist, 2 tackle breaks, 7 hit-ups, and made 25 tackles with 3 misses, and went over for a try with a beautiful pass from the captain in the 39th minute. I gave him a 7.5. So yeah, that's probably a bit harsh because his stats are pretty good, but you know, it is what it is. Ciro played 32 minutes, had 4 runs for 37 metres, 15 post contact, 4 hit ups, 16 tackles, but missed 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, that's huge.
No.
So I gave him a 5.
He missed.
And that I think that's been probably generous, maybe, you know. Yeah. Ale played 28 minutes, had 7 runs for 67 metres, 24 post-contact metres, 7 hit-ups, made 20 tackles with 2 misses and conceded 1 penalty. So he also, he got a 5.5 actually. Lussick played 19 minutes with 2. He's got some pretty mean, like his stats were, I think they were pretty good considering he only played 19 minutes. So he played 19 minutes with 2 runs for 17 metres, 4 post-contact metres, 1 line break assist, 1 try assist, 1 hit up, made 14 tackles with 3 misses. And I gave him a 5.5 too, even because he only played, you know. But for a combined total, I only gave our interchange a 6 because in that whole game, we missed 37 tackles. 14 of those tackles were missed by our interchange boys.
When
we contributed to almost half of the missed tackles that we've done. My MVP though of the entire game was probably Mitch Barnett. I think he had his best game of the season, and man, our forwards just fucking our forwards were just gangster. They dominated through that middle, and I think that's why we saw our wingers have such low tackle counts, is because you know everything was just, through the middle. So you know, I think that's why our wingers and centres didn't you know rock up on the tackle count.